Have you ever felt like you've messed up so badly that God wouldn't want you anymore? The smoking, the mistakes, the sins you keep repeating over and over again. And little by little, you started feeling farther from God. The peace is gone, the joy is fading, and deep inside you're wondering, is there still hope for someone like me? If you've ever asked that question, stay until the end of this video, because what you're about to hear could change the way you see God forever. And before we begin, type God, I'm listening in the comments if you're ready to hear his message today.
I'm Mr. Mark, animation. Let's start.
One of Satan's greatest weapons is not temptation, it's condemnation, because temptation gets you to sin, but condemnation keeps you away from God after you sin. After a mistake, the enemy whispers, "Look what you've done. You're a hypocrite. God is tired of forgiving you. You'll never change. There's no point in trying anymore." And if you're not careful, you'll start believing those lies. But notice something. The voice of condemnation always pushes you away from God. The voice of God always calls you back. God corrects us because he loves us, but he never tells us you're hopeless. The enemy says, "Run away from God." God says, "Come back to me." The enemy says, "You're too broken." God says, "I can restore you." The enemy says, "It's over." God says, "I'm just getting started." And today someone needs to hear this. The fact that you still care about your relationship with God is proof that God is still working in your heart. Sin always promises happiness, but it never delivers. It promises freedom, but eventually creates chains. It promises satisfaction, but leaves emptiness. That's why so many people chase money, success, pleasure, relationships, popularity, thinking those things will fill the void inside. But no matter how much they gain, the emptiness remains, because your soul was created for God, and nothing can truly satisfy a soul that was made for him except him. The sadness you feel isn't proof that God abandoned you. It may be proof that your heart is longing to come home. When you read the Bible, you'll notice something amazing. God rarely chooses perfect people. Moses was a murderer. David made terrible mistakes. Peter denied Jesus. Paul persecuted Christians. Yet God used them powerfully. Why? Because God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. We see failure. God sees potential. We see our past. God sees our future. And the same God who transformed their lives can transform yours. Jesus told a story about a son who walked away from his father. He wasted everything, his money, his future, his opportunities, until one day he found himself broken and alone. Then he decided to go home. He expected rejection. He expected judgment. But instead, his father ran toward him. He embraced him. He welcomed him back. That's the heart of God. God is not waiting to reject you. He's waiting to restore you. And maybe all he is waiting for is for you to take one step back toward him. One mistake doesn't define you. One addiction doesn't define you. One season of rebellion doesn't define you. Many people have allowed their failures to become their identity. Instead of saying, "I made a mistake," they say, "I am a mistake." Instead of saying, "I fell," they say, "I'm a failure." But God doesn't define you by your worst moment. Imagine if Peter had been defined only by the night he denied Jesus. Imagine if David had been defined only by his greatest failure. Imagine if Paul had been defined only by his darkest actions. Their stories would have ended there. But God saw beyond their failures, and he sees beyond yours too. Your struggle is real, but it is not the end of your story. If you're feeling far from God today, don't wait for the perfect moment. Come to him now. Not after you fix everything. Not after you overcome every struggle. Not after you become the person you want to be. Come now, because healing begins when honesty begins. Tell God the truth. Tell him you're struggling. Tell him you're tired. Tell him you're hurting. Tell him you're afraid. He already knows, and he loves you anyway. You don't need a perfect prayer. You just need a willing heart. One sincere prayer can begin a brand new chapter in your life. So let me ask you one more question. What if the reason you're watching this video isn't an accident? What if God wanted you to hear this today? You may have made mistakes. You may have fallen. You may have wandered far from him. But you are not beyond God's grace. You are not beyond God's mercy. You are not beyond God's love. The cross is proof of that. And if you're still breathing today, then God is not finished with your story. Your best chapter may still be ahead of you. So don't give up, don't walk away, and don't believe the lie that you've gone too far. Because no matter how far you've wandered, you can always come home. And when you do, you'll discover that God was waiting for you all along. Before you leave, watch the next video. It may be the message God wants you to hear right now.